Boykin, Alabama is a tiny village. It's tiny in the deep south of the United States with fewer than 300 residents. That means, when you go there, you barely bump into people because there are only 300 residents. Only 300 people live there, which means it's very, very tiny, right? How many people do you think we can expect to meet if you can meet everybody in this town? In this town, like in this Gimhae, we have more than 550,000 people.
Yeah.
So many. Why do you think this writer, the author of this reading passage, mentioned such a thing? Boykin he's
poor.
Maybe poor because there are not many people who work for their jobs. The whole industry of this town is pretty much shrunken, very small, which means they won't make as much money as the other towners make. Maybe that's very, very economically poor. But I'm saying the size of this town is very small. If the town is very small and the history of its own, probably very short. But anyway, it's better known by its nickname, G-Span. So Boykin has a nickname. It is G-Span, which is derived from, what does that mean derived from? It came from.
Yeah.
There's a word etymology. Can you say etymology? You can write it etymology. Etymology means this is the study of origins of words. Okay? This is study of origins of words. What does that mean, origins of words? Origins of words. That's etymology. 어원학. 단원의 근원. Okay? So derive means 파생된다. From village location on the band in the Alabama River. What is the band here? The creek area. Creek part of the river. This is a band. I guess this town is located near the band of the river Alabama. The surname of the man. Surname is what? What is surname? 성. Okay, of the man who founded this. 이거를 설립한. Founded means here establish. Okay? It's a Joseph G. So it's a combination of the two names, G and the band. And this Boykin, the town is located near the band part of this Alabama River, and who founded this town was Joseph G. So it is a combination of two names, G's band. Okay, that's a nickname. And despite 불구하고 it's a small site and remote location. Okay, very, very far from the major towns and major cities. G's band has become well known due to the distinctive quote. What is it distinctive? Distinctive. Very, very unique. When something is distinctive, it is very, very distinguished from the rest. Hey, when you take a look at me, do you see this kind of person often in this city? No, I got my facial hair shaped a lot of street. But anyway, it's quite rare for people to see people like me. All right, so distinctive. I'm very distinctive in that sense. So it was very distinctive quotes. They were very distinct quotes. This article, the author of the article tells us people don't pay attention to what Boykin is. Not many people know about that, but people recognize this city, this town, as a city of quilts. Because these quilts are very distinctive, very unique. The history of this is very unique, and the patterns are very unique. Here, let's go. Joseph G. moved to the area from North Carolina in 1816, bringing with him 18 slaves and establishing a cotton plantation. You know what it means, plantation? What is it?
No.
This is a huge size of
Yeah.
farm. So the American plantations, they carried. Carota, carried means they grew cotton
Yeah.
and tobacco.
Yeah.
Tobacco and cotton. Okay? And after slavery was abolished, as you mentioned earlier, very good.
Yeah.
Was abolished. Alright?
Yeah.
Mean officially there was no slavery.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was just official. But from the practical perspective, white people also owned black people as their slaves. Anyway, slavery was abolished in the United States in 1863, and some of the freed slaves, some of the who were freed, right? Let go of them, like you can go, you're a free man, right? Remained on the plantation, this plantation. Well, because I don't think I'm gonna get any job if we leave this place. This is where I live. This is where I work. Which is where I, raise my kids. So they did not want to leave the plantation. All right. So eventually, purchasing the land themselves during the Great Depression. What is the Great Depression? 경제 대공황. The 19th and 20th century. Because the land was just so cheap, so cheap that the black slaves could buy the land. So they were the owners of this G's band. Okay? 집주인, 땅주인. And despite having become a landlord or landowner, 집주인이 됐음에도 불구하고, which was the unusual situation at the time. 당시 흑인이 이 대거대한 땅 플랜테이션 지역에 주인이 된다는 것은 드문 일. But actually they did. And the former slave, 이전의 노예, continued to live in a flimsy shacks without running water and electricity. What's that? Flimsy shacks without running and water and electricity. That means it's poorly conditioned. What are the shacks? 누더기 같은. So these areas were not civilized, not modernized. They had to get their water from wells or somewhere else like a river. So it was very, very poor condition. Nobody wanted to leave such a place. Okay? With no running water, no 수돗물, no electricity. Okay? To keep warm during winter, the women of G's bands made a quilt. They made a quilt. Because there were no firewood, no electricity whatsoever. They had to keep their bodies warm enough not to die. So what was the purpose of making quilts? It was keeping their body warm. Right? Very sad. And the women used the recycled scrap of all the clothes. Scrap means 천조각. Okay, recycled scraps. Scrap means useless things, anything. Scrap of paper, scrap of iron, scrap of metal. Okay, everything. Anything that is recyclable, they used it to make the quilt. Because of this, they often had irregular designs. All right? Like a asymmetry. Symmetry, 대칭. Asymmetry, 비대칭. So 비대칭, asymmetry. Okay? Asymmetry. Design that were very different from the symmetrical geometric 기하학적 patterns of traditional quilt. Quilts were supposed to be symmetrically a geometric pattern. Okay, left and right, perfectly balanced, perfectly the same. But over time, this design evolved, 진화, into form of abstract folk art. 추상 민속 예술로 승화. Wow! The quilter received a much deserved recognition. 받을 만한 자기는 인정을 받았다. In 1990s. 언제? 1990년대. When an art collector saw the photograph of one of the 퀼트 중에 하나의 사진을 본 한 예술 수집가가 에 의해서 세상으로부터 인정을 받게 된 계기가 됐다. He visited these bands and began to work with the quilters to ensure 보장하다 that their artwork was exhibited in gallery. 그가 운영하는 갤러리 여러 갤러리에서 그들의 예술 작품이 전시될 수 있도록 보장하기 위해서 열심히 노력했다. 박물관을 쫓아 across the country 미국 전역에. Although many of the original quilt did not live to see their work receive the accolade. Accolade means 찬사, 인정. 이게 뭐야? 그 원래 그 G밴드에서 있으면서 흑인 노동자로서 흑인 그 노예로서 그 퀼트를 만들던 원래 퀼트 만들던 사람들의 대부분이 살아남지 못했지. 그들의 작품이 인정받는 것을 목격하지 못했단 말이지. 그들을 만들어놨던 것이 나중에 이제 그 소개는 나중에 있지만 그들 모두 운명을 달리했다. 오케이? 그들의 가족은 그렇게 했다. 남아있는 가족은 자신의 조상들이 자신의 부모님이 그 퀼트를 만들었던 걸 보관했다가 전시될 수 있도록 도와줬다. 오케이? And in 2018년에 when former First Lady of the United States Michelle Obama 알죠? 누굽니까? 영부인 미국 미셸 오바마는 오바마 대통령 버락 오바마의 부인인 미셸 오바마가 poses 게시했어 for her official portrait 그녀의 공식 portrait 초상화. 근데 she did it 그녀는 그렇게 했어. 뭐 한동안 치마를 입고 있는 모습으로 그 그녀의 모습을 올렸는데 inspired 영감을 받은 거야. 바로 G밴드의 퀼트에서 영감을 받은 드레스를 입고서 자신의 이제 portrait를 그 개인 계정에다 올렸겠지. 그게 이제 유명해. 뭘 입었죠? 크리스찬 디올도 아니고 샤넬도 아니고 루이 비통도 아니고 디자이너스 클로스도 아니고. This brought new attention. 지금 버락 오바마의 부인인 이 미셸 오바마가 이렇게 자신의 공식 등장을 그 퀼트에서 영감받은 옷을 입고 나오는 그 모습은 새로운 관심을 예술적이고 역사적인 중요성, 바로 독특한 예술 작품의 중요성에 주목하기 이르지. Okay? The quilter 그러니까 이게 약간 ambassador가 된 거지. ambassador. The quilter of the G's-band now 지금에 이르러 이제 G's-band의 퀼터, 그 퀼트를 만드는 사람들은 had their own vision, 자신의 사업을 이어가고 있어. That produces and sells their quilt. 그들이 만드는 퀼트를 제작, 판매하는 거지. While 많은 동안 preserving, 보존하는 동안 그들의 역사와 전통을 보존하면서 사업을 이어가고 있다. 오케이?